Okay, so the second set of ratio questions that we're in the hand with are questions 7 and 8, 9 and 10. So same idea, we're being asked to write down the ratio and then simplify it where possible. So let's go through 7a first of all. There are 20 girls and 5 boys in a classroom. So if we write that down as a ratio first of all, 20 girls to 5 boys, we would get 20 to 5 like that. So we've written down the ratio, that would be our first mark if we were thinking about it like that. And then from there we need to simplify this. So what number goes into 20 and 5? They're both in the 5 times table. So if we divide both sides by 5, 5 divided by 5 is 1, 20 divided by 5 is 4. So that should be my final ratio. In question D, if we jump to D, there are 16 trolleys and 24 baskets in a supermarket. So if we write that down as a ratio, 16 trolleys to 24 baskets, there's our ratio written down. Now, they're both in the 2 times table, they're both in the 4 times table, and they're both in the 8 times table. So we've got different options. 8 would be the quickest way, but you might not spot that. So let's just go for the 4 times table first of all. If we divide them both by 4, 16 divided by 4 is 4, 24 divided by 4 is 8. But then I'm left with 4 to 8, and I spot that they're both in the 4 times table as well. Mrs. Knacks got this wrong. Wait a minute, that should be a 6, that's better. So they're in the 2 times table. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So our final answer should be 2 to 3. Now if we divided by 8, first of all, 16 divided by 8 would be 2, 24 divided by 8 would be 3, and we would have got to that answer quicker, but remember it doesn't matter how many steps you take. Let's look at just another couple. In F, there are 25 shop assistants and 150 shoppers. So if we write that down as a ratio, shop assistants to shoppers, it was 25 shop assistants to 150 shoppers. So 25 to 150. Now, clearly they're both in the 5 times table. 25 divided by 5 gives me 5. 150 divided by 5 might not be so easy to do in our heads, so a little sum. 150 divided by 5. 5 doesn't go into 1, it goes into 15 3 times. Nothing left over, so we get the answer 30 when 5 goes into 0, 0. So we have the answer 5 to 30, but wait a minute. They're both in the 5 times table, so we can divide by 5 again. Dividing by 5 on that side will give me 1, and dividing by the 5 on this side will give me 6. So the final answer would be 1 to 6. And the last one we're going to look at from question 7 is I. Now in I it says a factory makes 3 million rivets and 500,000 bolts every week. So we have to write that down as a ratio. Now a million has 6 zeros. So 3 million rivets, 3 with 6 zeros after it, and 500,000. So 500,000 would be 500,000. So it's a 5 with 5 zeros after it like that. Okay, now we're simplifying. We want to get rid of, make the numbers smaller even. So the easiest way to do that is to divide. Now if we divide by 10, we would be taking a 0 off each side. So if we divide by 100, we could take off 2 zeros. If we divide by 1,000, we can take off 3 zeros. If we divide by 10,000, we could take off 4 zeros. If we divide by 100,000, we could take off 5 zeros. Now we can't go any further because the next number here is a 5, but if we've divided by 10,000, 100,000 even, we've got 5 and we've got 30. Okay, now from there, much easier numbers to work with. What times table are 5 and 30 both in? They're both in the 5 times table. 5 ones are 5 and 5 sixes are 30. Okay, very quickly we're going to look at 8 and 9. So 8 and 9 are similar. Okay, in question 8 we've got statistics about the army. We've got 2 different armies and we're being asked to write down the ratio of soldiers and simplify it. So we've got 30,000 to 18,000. So 30,000 to 18,000. Okay, and again we can do the same thing with the zeros. That's the same thing as 30 to 18, and they both divide by 6 to give you 5 to 3. Okay, for vehicles, we've got 1,650, if I just focus in on that. So 1,000 to 650. Now, we can only divide both sides by 10 really to begin with. That gives me 100 to 65. Okay, and now we're dividing by 5. Now 5 goes into 120 times. How many times does 5 go into 65? Goes in once with 1 left over, and 3. So we've got 13. So that's quite an awkward one, but we end up with the ratio 13 to 20. Okay, and then for the last one in this bit, the tanks, we've got 160 tanks to 120 tanks. So if we focus again, 160 to 120, that's going to be the same as 16 to 12 if we divide by 10 first of all, and then these both divide by 4 to give you 4 to 3.